Hi, this is BSA RISQUARD Huntsman. This is a 2v3 on Sunken Jungle map. It's a new map we're going to do. We thought we've tried it out and thought we'd have a bit of a laugh. We've done an in-clan Huntsman game. And yeah, so I'm playing alongside the Bishop, who is playing as Ottomans. It says he's Krasnikov. At the moment they're sort of doing a thing where they're impersonating each other. I'm playing as France on the right, and in front of me as the French player is Mahaka, and next to him is J Martin in the centre, and on the far left of all the Russian opponents is Huntsman Leonidas. So basically Z's moving to take up position on the left, and I'm going to push up and take a big patch of trees in front of me there. That big patch of trees there, right just at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to move up and take that. Easier to show you at a closer range there. And then that big patch of trees right there is where Z's going to go. And I've got a load of units moving down on the far right hand side as well, but there's a little bit of a hill and some sort of land formations where you can only get up and down certain parts of that area. So I'm going to rush my cavalry up, because I see Mahaka rushing his cavalry up, because as I've got to shoot a cavalry, I sort of deterred him from from moving up into those woods. Z's going for a pretty early heavy attack. He's charged his cavalry into the militia units and light infantry units there. So he's going a very aggressive attack at the start. He's got his light infantry in position, which is shooting the squares. So Z's off to a bit of a good, pretty good start there against J Martin. He's got his melee infantry sat back and ready to go. Those units, 3 line infantry units on the left, can only really hold. They're not really expecting to win any battles over there. Just try and slow Leo down from advancing. That patch of trees there, where Mahaka put his light infantry and a lifeguard afoot, I believe, that actually later on in the game became a real sort of killing area for me, because with the tree cover and the forest cover there, he really did cause me quite a lot of damage from there. Right, so that was a little bit of the melee close-up action that was going on in that patch of woods there. Z has got off to quite a lot of initial success in that area. With the units that I have down on the bottom there, the bottom of the screen on the far right, my right, the units Mahaka has in that tree area it's not really enough. So he's going to be forced to move more men down there to support that area. Leo's pushing up an attack on the units over on the left. And Z's just slowly, well, basically just trying to slow him down and hold him there. I think there was a little bit of mistake on positioning on Z's part there, but he made good use of it in the end, because he charged his cavalry into a line infantry unit which was unable to form square, and then pulled his men back out again. So although he made a mistake, it was he managed to switch it around a little bit. So basically all across this the top part of the map there, it's all basically firing and attacking, and everyone's going for it, which is pretty much the Huntsman style. Everyone goes in for the attack. My hackers charged a unit of his dragoons in, so I'm shooting them up. They took a little bit of killing, didn't do too much damage. I was quite surprised that I didn't actually kill my hackers' line infantry a lot quicker than what I did, because I did have an awful lot of guns firing, and they were out in the open. So I mean, I did find that a bit frustrating. Z's been forced to move back out and give up the wooded area there. It's just basically doing a slow retreat so we can move to another position and hold Leo from there. Still a lot of hard attacking and hard fighting going on with the Ottomans there. Z coming out slightly better off for it. I mean, I was really surprised at these units; they just weren't dying. It's couldn't quite understand that. But he's on the left. My hackers charged, gone into melee with his line infantry units there. So I'm going to pull back my young guard, sorry, and he's moved his cavalry unit down there, as you can see. So he's going to, which is a pretty damn good move really, because he's going to charge my line infantry unit, or was going to, without having to worry about me being able to form square. But I managed to get my young guard out so it could form square in time, and retreat my Swiss through it. So there's another cavalry unit in my lines attacking me again. Taking a little bit of killing. Is that a cavalry unit or line infantry? Not sure. The thing that I noticed in that little patch of woods that I showed you there, right, the reason why it became such a bad spot for me, like, it seemed like his units could get good fire angle on me, his light infantry, but because there was a slight dip, slight curve in the floor, I wasn't quite getting the hits on him, which I couldn't quite. I'll have to investigate that a bit more closely in the future and see what the actual issue is with that area. I've got my dragoon unit in there. He's trying to take out, get rid of militia. Opolicny, I believe it's called. So Z's sort of pulled back, firmly dug in them woods and just trying to holding in there for the time being. Leo's pushing out an attack here with the units on Z's left. I mean, I've got units in the centre there, but I'm sort of trying to save them and not use them as much as I can, because they're sort of units that I was gonna, because I know that Leo's moving over on the flank, and I was gonna have them ready. So I had them in the centre, so I could either throw them in this direction if I needed them, or if Z really needed them, then I could throw them over there as well. But I've managed to corner off the units over in this part of the woods. I mean, I'll be kept with, because I keep killing all the units down there, although he's slowing me down from actually being able to advance on the and flanking. He's I'm costing him a lot of men, because he keeps having to feed men down there all the time to keep me back. But he's running out of men now to be able to send down there, and I keep defeating the men that are in there that he keeps sending down. So Leo was causing a lot of problems for Z with the cavalry unit. Got another cavalry crossier unit, I believe. It's going to rout that unit in a minute, I think, possibly. Yeah, I think it's going to rout that unit. And another cavalry unit is going to come in from behind and attack my Swiss foot. I was really bad on hitting my squares on this part of the map. It's probably because I was like mainly concentrating on what was going over on the left and the middle part of my army, and I was pretty comfortable that my army would win over this side. My men would win over this side. So I've got another Chasseur Cheval unit that's going to go in now. I'm trying to, basically because I really need to get that area clear now so I can free up those men to use them on other parts of the map. Leo's sending some men round to where J. Martin was. A couple of lifeguard, I believe. So that's going to force Z to retreat back into the woods again. So although keeps feeding men down there, but he is holding me back, and at this point in the battle I really did need to free up those men to although I'm now beating him on the centre, but I really needed to free up those two units to get them engaged in the rest of the battle that was going on. So those three units that were holding him on the left have now been crushed, and Z is basically, Leo's free to move up on Z. Right, so Leo has now moved up onto the rear of Z. Actually, looking back and on the overview of the replay of this game, it would have made a lot more sense for us to pull back to the lower part, where the lower part of the screen is. Maybe take them woods down there, and across the centre, and then I hold those woods where I originally was again, and then because Mahaka's retreating, I've got those men freed up so I can swing them round on the flank, and I know those units over there in front of me are depleted, so I would eventually be able to break those units. But during the game, as everything was going and happening so fast, we basically sort of stuck to our guns and held the area that we were in. Z's got his semats in against Leo's lifeguards over just on the left there. There's a Semenovsky here as well, which I'm guessing Leo must have been pretty distracted, because I did manage to crush that unit pretty quickly. But that comes along, I'll show you that in a minute. Leo just went straight in for a charge with grenadiers and I believe it's lifeguard or musketeers. No, it's musketeers, I do apologise. So he's basically just charging Z's men in the woods there, rather than just trying to go for a shootout, which I guess is the right idea, because Z's in the woods. He's going to waste a lot of bullets and not hit too many men. So, right, that's Semenovsky, which I'm actually targeting. It takes a lot of losses. I've got an old guard target in it and a Swiss foot targeting it from the front, and my old guard is basically hitting it from the rear. So it's taken a lot of losses very quickly. Wasn't too worried about that light infantry unit. Russian Jaggers, as J. Martin would put it, aren't too accurate anyway. And that Pavlovsky, the Pavlovsky Grenadiers and the Semenovsky is a more essential, two more essential units that I really want to get rid of. Z is not looking in too good a shape now, because I mean, when they all moved up on him, you had Leo moving up him from the left, you had more of Leo's men in from the right, and more almost to sort of Z's rear. He was being attacked by J. Martin there, so in hindsight it really would have been a good option for Z to pull back out of that patch of woods and retake another. So I'm dealing a lot of damage to Leo's flank here, but I'm also starting to run low on ammunition now, and I do believe my old guard are going to run out of ammunition very soon as well. I'm trying to run men over into support here, but my hacker decides to go for melee charge, which again was a bit annoying because it's never fun being melee blobbed, but it was a right move for them, because obviously the Russian units are better melee than my French units, and it's going to stop my men being able to form square so we can charge that cavalry in. So good move from their perspective. Bloody annoying from mine. Trying to get some men firing in on those units, try and save them and get the Russian units routed. But it was in vain in the end, because he does actually manage to rout both units. Right, so I believe Z is pretty much gone now. He's just got, I think he's just got that light infantry unit left. Oh no, he has got a light infantry unit still in melee in the trees. Leo chased a Pavlovsky Grenadier into my Swiss foot, so I'm going to retreat that back and try and hit it with my general, and I'm swinging my old guard round as well. But he decides to retreat that unit and pull it back. I've got two units over on the in the trees there, which is a young guard, which was still pretty healthy, and it was still pretty healthy on ammunition as well. But I see he was going to go melee blob in the trees with me there as well. So I tried. I mean, my young guard was exhausted as well. So, and I tried running it out and retreating it, but it was a slow process. With my Swiss foot, I'm aiming, doing targeted aim at Leo's general unit, which I didn't think he realised until I'd, well, almost, more or less killed his general. I don't think I actually did kill it through shooting it though, in the end. But it did take quite a few losses. Right, so I've got my young guard, which I'm trying to retreat out there, running that away. I had a Polish unit that came back from routing. I'm basically more or less forced to use my general now, so I'm going to charge that into the light infantry. Basically sort of attack the grenadier unit and his general and all sorts really. Just try and rout what I can. Just try and kill these men. I mean, it's basically all elite units that they have left now. I do manage to rout the light infantry unit and the grenadier unit, and I think I kill his general down there as well. But all these men that are coming out of the trees, all coming over, they're all basically lifeguard units. basically on the my unit's on the left over the far side. I'm just trying to I was trying to swing them round so I could get my army formed up into one. So there goes Leo's general. I'm going to recharge my general back into the Pavlovsky unit. But I do believe that Pavlovsky unit ends up killing my general shortly after I charge it. I mean, my young guard, if I was able to, because Mahaka continued just chasing me to melee, just continuously, I never had any time to be able to properly turn around and fire on them. And I mean, with the young guard being an elite unit as well, and as I just lost my general, they get the morale shock as well. But I did have quite a lot of ammunition left with my young guard, even though they did actually get a lot of kills at the end. But I still had quite a lot of men left in my young guard, but I just couldn't get them back to be able to turn around to shoot these guys, because all the lifeguards that were left were all low in numbers, all depleted. So I mean, I doubt if I could have really won it. We could have really beat them all, but especially with the cavalry there. But I reckon I could have got rid of about 2 or 3 of them at least. But with the continuous melee, just no way I could turn around and get fire on them. So as you can see, it's pretty much done for us. It was a pretty close game. So I'd like to say cheers guys, thanks for playing, and I'd love to do this again, because this really was a great match. Please rate, comment and subscribe guys, because obviously your input is always liked and needed. So have a quick look at the unit stats, and I'll see you next time guys. Thanks for watching.